Does it make sense to switch from a system with DDR4 3600 MHz to a new one with DDR5 6000 MHz? Tests in games from BFG. The end of the summer was marked by a loud and remarkable event in the computer world. AMD officially presented its new Ryzen 7000 processors for the AM5 platform, which became the first AMD desktop system with support for DDR5 RAM. We have yet to learn about all the nuances of using new memory on the Red platform, although the number of comments from experts on this issue is growing day by day. It is worth recalling that the high-speed memory type DDR5 at the moment is still significantly more expensive than DDR4, and its range in stores is quite limited. For example, if a high-quality kit of 2 DDR4 modules with a total volume of 32 GB and a frequency of 3600 MHz costs around 8,000 rubles, then a set of DDR5 of the same volume with a frequency of 6000 MHz will cost twice as much. Users have a natural question: is it worth it to hurry up and update the system at all, laying out a rather large amount of money, or is it better to stay on the good old one with DDR4, and spend the extra money on updating the video card? Full format high quality reviews with Ryzen 7000 and DDR5 memory have not yet been released, and their appearance should be expected before the start of sales of new processors, which will begin in mid-September. Nevertheless, we can already find out approximately how significant a performance increase in games is due to the transition to DDR5. LGA 1700 builds that support DDR4 and DDR5 will help us do this. Compare in 3600 MHz DDR4 games, G. Skill Trident Z Neo 2x16 GB, CL16 16 1636, and 6000 MHz DDR5, G. Skill Trident Z5 2x16 GB, CL36 36 36 76, took the YouTube channel benchmarks for gamers. The MSI Mag Z690 Tomahawk and MSI Mag Z690 Tomahawk DDR4 motherboards became the basis of the systems, and the choice of processor and video card fell on Intel i9-12900KF, P-cores 5.1 GHz all-cores, E-cores 4.0 GHz all-cores, and the reference AMD Radeon RX 6900 XT, core clock minutes 2400, max 2600 MHz, power limit plus 15%, 1080p resolution. Let's see what happened. As you can see, switching to a platform with a new type of RAM does give the player a certain increase in frame rate, but the smaller the average frame, the smaller the gap itself. With the Intel platform, everything is clear, but what about AM5? It only supports DDR5, and you won't be able to save money by switching with the old DDR4 kit. Most likely, most of the increase that we will get when switching to AM5 will give us an increase in performance in the processor part, and not in the part of changing the type of RAM. Although, in fairness, it should be noted that AMD itself in its announcement spoke about the advantage of up to 11% of the use of a new type of memory. Thus, if your current processor provides you with sufficient performance, given the model of your video card, then when switching to a system with Ryzen 7000 and DDR5 along with this oldest video card, you may experience some disappointment, especially considering the amount spent on the upgrade. Perhaps it makes sense to aim for more high-speed DDR5 kits, but even here you should wait for full reviews to understand the most optimal memory parameters. If your pocket does not welcome poorly justified spending, then it may make sense to invest in a more productive video card or wait for the new AMD Radeon RX 7000 and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 40 to appear. In any case, in the end, everyone is guided by their own criteria.